Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. We're absolutely thrilled to have everyone here for Cority Connect 2026. Not that I can see any of you with the lights, but we're really thrilled to have you here.
This is my first Cority Connect, and I just got to say the energy is awesome, and this company is awesome. What you are doing in EHS, professional circles is incredible. I personally love hearing the stories about how our software is being used. And one of the reasons I came to Cority is because I really connected and believed in the vision of what we've done. And we've got a great history. So rewind all the way back to 1985. We started out with our first user, entering into the EHS realm. And over the course of time, we've grown that to 4 million active users, which is incredible worldwide. And along the way, we've made some remarkable progress with pioneering SaaS, with adding our Cority One platform. And then today, we're marking a new chapter, introducing embedded intelligence with Cortex AI. It's super exciting. And I think as a technologist, we're witnessing probably the greatest unfolding of technical innovation of our time. It's phenomenal. And I personally believe as a technologist that AI in the right hands can do immense good and leave a lasting impact. And it's really, really cool. So some numbers, just to throw at you. So we're doing, on our platform, 1 billion transactions in a month. I mean, that's just mind-blowing. It's hard to imagine like 1 billion stars, 1 billion transactions. Like, it's just a number that's hard to contemplate. But I think it speaks to the power of what we can do, especially with your support and the feedback that we get about how you're using it. So ultimately, again, with AI and with our platform, we want to improve decision-making in context for you, and we want you to be able to run your businesses effectively and with a lot of impact.
Well, thanks, Dan. So 61.1. Typically, I ask the audience what that represents. I feel like I've put you all through enough already, so I'll just kind of fill you in. So 61.1 is our product capability score from Verdantix. If you don't know Verdantix, they're the industry-wide leading analyst firm in our space, and they do a full audit about every 18 months of our product capabilities. It's demos, surveys, interviews. It's like being audited. Not that I've ever been audited before, but that's what it's like from a product perspective. And obviously, you can see where we stand in relation to the competition, for which we're very proud of. And this is from the latest report. 214. You'll see a lot of folks standing in the back, and some with the orange badges in our professional services organization. They had 214 successful go lives in 2025. You can see the trajectory over time, and once again, another record here at Cority, which is another area we're very proud of. NPS, Net Promoter Score. And this is really a measure of customer satisfaction of everybody here and every customer of Cority. We have a 43 NPS, which we've actually validated by an outside industry firm saying we're the highest customer levels of satisfaction in this space. But I wanted to call out a few things here. If you look to the far left, we have promoters, and you can see the trajectory going up over the last 3 years. In the middle, we have passive. You can see that's relatively flat, and then we have detractors, which is going down, okay, which results in a 43. Now, I'll use a baseball analogy, so I've always played sports, and so if you don't like baseball, apologies, but I think it'll resonate. Here at Cority, every now and again, we will hit a home run or a game-winning triple. Those are the promoters. Sometimes we'll get a double or a single. Those are passive. And detractors, we either made a game-losing error or we struck out, okay? Now, another thing, I know Ron said he has 2 boys. I also have 2 boys, William and Nathaniel. They're a little bit older than Ron's kids. But I manage their Little League baseball teams, and I have for the last 6 years. And at the beginning of every season, I get the little guys, up, and we're talking about the season coming up, and I say, guys, we're going to win, we're going to lose. We're going to have some hits. Some of you might hit a home run, a double, a triple, whatever it may be. You will strike out, and you will make an error. It's part of baseball. It's part of life. The key is learning from that, get better, and continue to be aggressive. And when I think of that story for the Little League players, I think that holds true here at Cority. We hit home runs, we do strike out, but we get better, we learn from it, and we're going to continue to be aggressive now and into the future. And really, over the next 2 to 3 days, there's so many demos, so many sessions, you'll see everything that's going on, and what we're really trying to do is interweave our various solutions, our capabilities, our data, our user interface you'll hear about as well, and it's really us really trying to improve and get better, but also be aggressive now and into the future. So when it comes to 3 areas of investment, okay, that Dan and I are focused on. First is focusing on our platform. Ryan talked a little bit about that earlier when he kicked us off. Second is focusing on EHS-specific capabilities and workflows. That's really here to hopefully enable everyone here to support you all in your day-to-day jobs. And then finally is innovation with Cortex AI. 1,700's the last number that I'll share. So I've been making this presentation now for a little over 3 years here at Cority. And since I started, since now, we've tracked the number of VOC, or voice of customer sessions. So that's someone in product talking to our customers about feedback about what we're doing well, what we're not doing well, the home runs, the strikeouts, and so on, okay? And everything you're going to see over the next 2.5 days is informed by those 1,700 VOC discussions and meetings with all of you. So just first off, thank you for your feedback and discussions to inform everything you're about to say.
Okay, so we've heard the platform word tossed out multiple times today, and it's a very overloaded term. But just as a thought experiment, what makes a great platform? Well, first and foremost, it is a mechanism for helping you achieve your business outcomes. So how many here took Lyft or Uber to the hotel? Probably a lot, right? I mean, it's not a good look if the service is unavailable, when you need a ride, right? So we match a rider with a driver, mission accomplished, outcome is achieved. And so at Cority, our philosophy is really threefold in terms of what we're delivering for a platform. First, it should be secure by design. So, we had a great conversation with Javier yesterday on security and the importance in today's day and age of maintaining a good security posture, right? You don't want to have to think twice about what the software is doing, how the agents are operating on your data, and the expectations of the software. It should be auditable and transparent so that you can take a look about what's going on. Did we really do the things that we said we did? Can I get a report? And so on. And then it needs to be a heartbeat and a rhythm in your organization. Just as a doctor reaches for his scalpel or whatever the tools, the trade, it needs to be efficient and perfect for the job, when you need it. That's what we're expecting of our platform, and it's really what we're building.
Yep. And along those lines, one of the key areas of investment and focus over the past really 18 months is our UI UX, so the usability of the platform, to try to make a more seamless, cohesive application for all of you. So if you have multiple solutions, you feel and there's continuity between the various solutions that you all have. And it's a shame, I feel like I can't see anything right now on this big screen, and it looks really cool. And this is something that if you go to the demos behind you and other sessions, you'll start to see this evolve, and this is based, once again, upon your feedback about the new look and feel and the navigation of Cority One. And this is something that we'll be rolling out throughout 2026. So this is something we want to announce to everyone here. Last year, we called out some of this as a focus and investment, and we're going to be rolling it out to all of you throughout this year. So you have an opportunity to get some demos and see it in the back over the next 2 days. Another common question I get is GX2 Cority One? Now, if you don't know what GX2 is here, that's perfectly fine, but that's a common question, okay? And GX2 is a component of Cority One, but there's many components of Cority One that make our overall product portfolio. And as we unify the experience, like I just mentioned 2 slides ago, and the navigation, the look and the feel, and the continuity in the workflows, and as we embed more capabilities throughout our solutions, okay? And the one great thing about working with Dan and the platform and how we're building things is we're building it for one use case, but doing it in an adaptable way so it can work somewhere else as well. So as we embed more capabilities, we need to provide greater and better context for all of you and all of our users as to where you are in the solution, okay? Therefore, one step in that direction, just one step of many, is updating our nomenclature around some of our engines. One is GX2. We also have EMS WAB and EMS. Those were the old names. You can see in the middle the full new name, and then over to the right where we have core, workflows, and calcs. We wanted to announce this today, okay? But more information will come in the weeks and months ahead, okay? There's nothing anyone here needs to do, but as we're unifying the experience, unifying the platform in various ways, we're trying to provide greater context. One step in that is the nomenclature around their engines and the components really that make up Cority One. So we wanted to announce this for everyone here today. Okay.
So I think it's awesome that Ted and his team are focused on user experience and UI, and just the intuitive nature of interfaces is really important for the work that you do. And and features are obviously very important. That's what you're in day out on the platform. But I want to talk to you about something else that's a prerequisite to delivering AI workloads and the fast pace of innovation, and that is the way that we release software. That is also part of the product. It's part of the design. And so the big bang releases that we used to do in years past are not going to fit the bill anymore for this rapid pace of innovation. So what do I mean? So we need a mechanism to deliver software to you on a continuous basis. So our mantra with our platform and EHS now is release and deploy early and often. This doesn't mean that we're smacking you in the face with a bunch of new features all the time. What it means is that we have the capability to turn on features slowly, like a dimmer switch, raise them up, look at 5% in our customer ecosystem, 10%, ramp it up slowly, see how it's doing. If there's a problem, we can roll it back. So again, coming to the whole stability aspect of the platform, which is deeply important to us, it needs to be available all the time. And we need to be able to inject these changes and features and tests and so on into that ongoing environment. So it's an exciting new time. So coming back to capabilities now and design in general, wherever you have friction in a process, a wonky, thing that you're doing with your job, that's an opportunity. That friction is an opportunity for our team to look at improving the process, improving the interface, improving how you interact, and even with now prompt engineering with AI, how to just get one step closer to the problem and a more elegant solution. So we've thought really long and hard about these different experiences, whether it's clinic experience, or on a mobile, or managing your risk, and just taking that design approach into those design discussions.
Cool. And what was just listed there is just a handful of the roadmap items across the entire product portfolio. So you'll see more in the various breakout sessions where you'll have individual work roadmaps for each of those. But Dan and I, we're just highlighting a few items. This is one we're really excited over. It's a new clinical visit experience. And you can see some of the designs, once again, our design system holding true here. And this is, once again, based upon a lot of our feedback on the health space, that we need more data. You'll hear things like split screens, other timelines, other and flyout windows. Just basically, how do we have as much data on the page that's relevant for that point in time of the overall workflow? So we're really excited over the clinical experience and improving the usability and the look and the design around that. Next area is another key theme around risk. We get a lot of feedback that we need more risk capabilities that are more robust and interlinked with various items in the overall Cority platform. And here, there's a risk register control library capabilities we've designed and we're looking to build out later this year. And then also bringing some of the risk capabilities to MyCority. That's something that we've been working with a few enterprise customers on. That's actually further in development and will be released in the spring. So risk is another area of investment from an R&D perspective in 2026. Then another area is on the billing and invoicing. And this is more in the healthcare space, but this is basically to the ability to have more robust billing invoicing capabilities, linking it with the clinical experience. This is something we've been partnering with a few companies, customers rather, over the past 18 months on this and looking to roll out in the summer. And this is something we're really excited for within healthcare.
Yeah, and tagging on to the billing, I think, we all have been there scheduling appointments with multiple providers, going through all the motions of that. It can be quite a mess. So we're really excited about, some of our unified scheduling that's going to make that whole process more intuitive, easier to manage care across multiple providers. And then just again, coming back to that UX of the experience throughout the platform. So we're really excited to announce that as well. Okay, so we've talked a lot about capabilities, and with Cortex, we now have in your hands these new agents, and we're really excited about this first wave. And so whether it's medical scribe or the permit analyzer, some of the things that we've highlighted throughout the day so far, encourage you to go check out the booths, talk to us, talk to me and Ted. But we're really excited about how we built these. They're purpose-built. They're not generic. We have chosen the right AI technology for the task. And just a note on that, it's like you can use a generic model for a generic task and you get a generic outcome. And we're going for a much more opinionated approach in how we handle these problems. So we're feeling good about it. Of course, we'd love the validation, and we'd love to hear from you on what you think.
Cool. And hopefully some of you were able to join the Converge event that was back in December. You heard Dan and I talk through some of the content you'll see today. A few key points here is when it comes to Cortex AI, it's embedded in the workflows in the application. It's not separated in any way. And then two, we also have a control center that you'll be able to see a demo in the booth behind you hopefully later today. That's really to manage, orchestrate, and audit data within Cortex AI, thinking that trust and the transparency element's vital, and having that reporting capability is needed for all of you and our customers.
Yep. And just to tag along, so again, on how we've designed and built this stuff, we are model agnostic, so we've partnered with Google. I know we've got OpenAI here. There's lots of great models, and we can plug into those different models. And then the other thing that's worth mentioning is that we have a double prompt or two prompt IP approach to all of this. So in today's era of AI and engineering, the prompt is a really discrete piece of intellectual property, and it takes a lot of effort to go and refine those and to get a good result. And then with the customer, can continue to refine with the second stage prompt. So it's an adaptable, flexible model with how we approach AI. And look at this list. We've got a lot more coming. So the first wave is here, and we've got a lot more in the works with our product and engineering teams, and we're really cooking on this and excited. So let's dive into the control center. Like Ted mentioned, this is the hub of where you will go and configure the agents, enable them, do any tweaks you need to, and then also get reports on the usage, how they're operating, any connection points, and so on. And my personal favorite, so I am a son of a doctor who's an anesthesiologist, and also my grandfather was a surgeon. And I remember as a kid going to his practice, and he had a dictaphone and would go in and do all this, and then someone would have to painfully transcribe all of those notes. This is incredible technology. If I said today I need a number 5 laryngeal mask airway, it's going to get it perfect in the context. And it will also get the nuance if I happen to be sharing information about my vacation or personal details. It knows what to filter out and give just the concrete points on the appointment. So it's really awesome.
And then two other agents is the incident voice entry agent. So that's basically you're speaking to an item, and it's transcribing that and basically taking what you're speaking and populating the fields in my Cority or in our solution. And then the next is the incident image analysis. That's where you take a picture of an item, it would scan that item, and then once again populate fields. And when you think, one of the themes and core principles around Cortex is, what are some of the repetitive tasks that we can try to hopefully automate or drive efficiency and help everyone here just better enable you all with the tools and capabilities that we have. A big pain point we hear from a lot of our customers is getting data in the system is a challenge. So these are two agents really to try to alleviate some of that pain. This is another one, that similar theme. How do you get data in the system as quickly and as efficiently as possible? This is the sustainability invoice scanning agent. So it would take different invoices, it could be in different languages, whatever it may be, and it would scan those documents and populate the necessary fields in Cority One. And then the final one we'll talk about today is if you really enjoy reading a 100-page PDF environmental permit, okay? Sorry, there's some people here that love to do that, I'm sure, okay? But we have a permit analyzer that you can take that permit, drag and drop it in, and Cortex will analyze the regulatory items within that permit. You can actually chat with it and get feedback when it comes to that permit. Once again, trying to mitigate the challenges of getting data in and reviewing large PDFs.